When a club spends £63.5 million on a striker, it isn't shopping for a replacement, it's buying a new identity for its attack. Victor Gyökeres arrives in North London with the sort of recent form that leaves statistics pale in the face of spectacle. 54 goals in 52 matches in Portugal, a finishing record that reads like a dare to any defence. But the early buzz at Arsenal isn't just about how many times he hit the net last season. It's about how quickly he's settled into a training ground that demands more than instinct. Mikel Merino, who knows the club's principles and the kind of team-first mentality Arteta insists upon, has been candid. Yes, Gyökeres will score, but what surprised him was the striker's hunger to learn, his discipline away from the cameras. Vonse, the way he moves in practice with an intensity bordering on ritual. Those off-the-ball habits are the quiet scaffolding beneath each goal, and for a manager who prizes structure, they matter as much as clinical finishing. This matters because Arsenal's attack has until now often been cobbled together from midfielders and versatile forwards rather than anchored by a natural No.9. Players like Kai Havertz or converted wide men have offered creativity and versatility, but they have not given Arteta a forward whose primary language is runs behind a backline, who can occupy centre-backs with brute force and then split them with timing and pace. Gyökeres offers that vocabulary, directness, power, a gravity that changes how teammates play around him. Tactically, his presence pulls defenders out of position and creates pockets for runners, the sort of simple spatial change that forces rival coaches to rewire their defensive plans. Yet the Premier League is a different animal. Portugal's lights won't tell Gyökeres how to cope with relentless press, Premier League duels, or the humidity of a packed away end chanting for blood. He will have to learn the Arsenal way. When to press, when to drop, which angles to open for Saka, Odegaard, or whoever supplies the final ball. That learning curve is the key variable. If it's short, Arsenal's front line transforms from improvisational to calibrated. If it's long, opponents will smell opportunity. Merino's early endorsement is therefore more than teammate praise. It's a measured signal that integration is happening fast. He speaks not only of goals but of habits. The striker's punctuality at training, his appetite for tactical drills, the humility that keeps a hot scorer grounded. Those details are the under-the-radar reasons signings become legends rather than memories. The immediate questions are practical. How will Arteta pair Gyökeres with the existing cast? Will the system tilt towards supply lines that exploit his pace behind the defence, or will he be asked to hold and bring others into play? Will he handle the physical targeting from Premier League centre-backs who will study tape and plan to make him uncomfortable? Early pre-season glimpses suggest Arteta is willing to reframe his shapes around this profile to give the new No.9 service and licence to run. For rivals, that's an alarm. Arsenal's threat no longer flows solely from width and midfield orchestration. It now includes a central spearhead capable of finishing half chances and converting chaos into goals. The broader stakes reach beyond matchday tactics. A striker who consistently forces defenders to account for him makes life easier for creative midfielders and stretches formations in ways that accumulate into points across a season. If Gyökeres maintains his scoring rhythm while absorbing Arsenal's principles, the title conversation shifts, not suddenly, but perceptibly. Conversely, if adaptation stumbles, the signing will be judged by the harsh arithmetic of expectations versus delivery. Time will tell, but the first signals are meaningful. Merino's admiration for the striker's character, the coaching staff's willingness to adjust, and the buzz of a training ground that senses transformation. For Arsenal fans, the narrative is intoxicating. A club investing in a forward who could finally translate potential into a consistent, fear-inducing reality. This transfer is more than a headline or a tally. It's a tactical experiment with the capacity to redefine an attacking blueprint. Over the coming months, every movement, run and finish will be passed not only for its beauty, but for its consequence, because if Victor Gyökeres truly rewrites Arteta's attack, the ripple effects will be felt in defensive notes of rival teams and in the shape of Arsenal's ambitions for the season ahead.